most of the people lived in the mountains. It's much easier, and this area was actually open, and that's why when the 1920s they started to buy the land around here in the Jezreel Valley. Now this connects me because during the summer, and again during the winter, it was very muddy, very like swampy. It was hard. They needed to drain it as well. They built roads. They needed to drain. They came here and they lived here in very hard conditions as well. But they had a vision. They had an idea. They had an aspiration to come back and to work the land and to be farmers, to be shepherds. They felt very connected. Talk to the Jewish people that felt connected with the Old Testament. Do you maybe? I hear whispers, but I can't really hear. If I don't see your lips, I can't hear you too. Okay, the Transfiguration, that's in the, when we talk about in the New Testament, after Caesarea Philippi, they go up to the mountain and Jesus changed in front of his students and his face was enlightened and his clothes were all white. And who was he talking to, by the way?
Elijah.
Moses and Elijah, together. And by the way, if you look to the left, the mountains on the left behind you, it's the Carmel mountain. We'll also see that when we go up to Nazareth. The Carmel mountain all the way to the left, that's the place where Elijah was, and we'll talk about it. Sorry. Be careful not to put really heavy stuff on the top so it won't fall on everybody's head. Lived, and that's where the place where the angel revealed to her, and told her that she's pregnant. So now you can see it even better, Mount Tavo. You can see it's very dramatic. You can actually see it really fits also the story, and again, because it's very dramatic. It's the middle of the valley. It has a story. It's hard to climb too. Experience. So soon we're gonna get to Nazareth village. It's just the and also there's a soldiers also when they in the army when you get everything you have to earn. Remember, when you do voyages, you have to like 80 kilometers, 60 miles a night to fly to get your grade, to get your all the things. So some people take voyages and they go up to the mountains. Again, it's very entered Nazareth. Just technical thing about Nazareth village. Take your whispers as well. Even though you're gonna have a local guide there, I'm gonna give him my microphone so he can use it. So this is Nazareth. Nazareth is I think it's the largest, biggest. It's about 75,000 maybe people living here, more or less. Actually, the majority of the people that live here are Muslims. There's Muslims and Christians. And it's the biggest here, okay? And also it's beginning of the lower Galilee. We have the upper Galilee, we have the lower Galilee in the northern part of Israel. And you can see all the way to the top, there's it's like a golden kind of dome. It's just to indicate a Muslim prophet that is there. But in Nazareth, there's many orders as well, and obviously the heart of it is the Church of Annunciation. There's also a market there as well. Lots of people come and visit it. And when they excavated, by the way, the church today, it's a Catholic church. And by the way, all the Catholic church are represented by the Franciscans. So most of the Catholic churches, you will see Franciscan monks around it, because the Franciscans actually started in Mount Zion in Jerusalem in the 14th century, because when the Crusaders left, they sent, I always say, like an elite unit to come and make sure that the holy sites are in the hands. So they sent the Franciscans. They started Mount Zion in Jerusalem. Eventually, they were kicked out from there. That's why. But in the Church of Annunciation, you'll be able to. We're not going to go there, but you can see in many of the places Franciscan monks. So the church is built upon the cave, as I mentioned it. And in the 5th century, a church was built. Now, the thing about here, if you look to the right, you see that there's a great dome. That's the Church of Annunciation. This is the latest one. Yeah. So the biggest one, I think, it's huge. 1969 was built. You'll see it's a big, great dome. And by the way, there is in Israel, okay, most of the places that things happened, miracles, even like the Sermon on the Mount, things that happened, there's a gap of around 300 years, yeah, since the crucifixion and the resurrection until actually starting to build churches. So most of the churches in Israel, when I say the Byzantine period, so it started in the 4th century. That means that these are Romans that took upon them Christianity, and that period of time they started to build churches. Okay, coming back here, and especially if we're talking about the first pilgrim, she was 75 already. Helen, the mother of Constantine. Okay, he was the emperor of Byzantium. So most of the churches will have a Byzantine layer. So when I'll say Byzantine, 4th, 5th, 6th century, more or less. Most of these churches were destroyed, 614, something like that, in the 7th century. They have another stage of crusaders. So when the crusaders came here, in the 11th and mainly in the 12th century. And some of them have the modern stage, okay, if they were destroyed or not destroyed. So just to figure out how it works. So when I say Byzantine stage, and then destroyed, Crusader stage, and then either modern or destroyed, okay? That's more or less. So the Church of Annunciation has those stages. The 5th, and they said here we found maybe the first Jew that believed in Christ. So it was a big thing. So the whole church is built upon of that. Destroyed, Crusader, and then the modern church of it is today. It's a huge church. You can see the top of it. Now you can.